is it dark? It was fine all this while. There we go. It's a little better. What's happening, everybody? Let's just give it a few minutes. We got some people in. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Bob Rock, and this is the B-Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Hope everyone is doing really well. And I know it's been a little while since we got on, and since we've been on, but hey, you know what? We keep on keeping on. We're doing our thing. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Peter and Diego and Dirk, all the regulars are here. It's so awesome to see you guys. Thank you very much for the support. Um, yeah, we're gonna get right into it. I think we've been out for a little while. Shoot, this this episode I supposed to shoot on like the 23rd or something of last month of August. Jeez, so it has been a while. So how's everybody been doing? What's been happening on your end of the world? How goes the drifting? Obviously, because this is a drift podcast. So, and thank you to all the guys that's been tagging me into the events and inviting me for the events. Yeah, really appreciate it. It's nice to be kept informed of all the different events that's going on. And it's nice to see that people are getting back into these events. So I'm really happy to see that. Happy to see that drifting is, getting back to the levels that it used to be pre-COVID. So that's going to be interesting. Uh, Unfortunately, this side where I am, drifting has taken a very, very bad dip, but I remain positive, and I am working on a few things to try and bring it up. So watch the space. I hope people will be encouraged to join in. Steven says, away from the family in a hotel in Germany. Dude, I mean, it's nice to be traveling, but I totally get you that it's difficult when you're away from your family. But thanks so much for joining in, man. I appreciate it, and you're one of my oldest followers and viewers. And besides being a follower and a viewer, you're also one of my very best drift buddies around. So appreciate the support, man. Um, so yeah, we've got a few things to chat about. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, and we'll just jump right into it. We always wonder when we're doing a new body, what are we going to do with this body? What kind of style? What kind of livery? Um, how do we do this body? Is it a Jap body? Is it German? Is it American? What kind of body are we doing? Um, so, in the previous podcast, I spoke about the new era that Japan has just entered in when they ushered in the new emperor of Japan, and it's called Reiwa, and from there was born the Reiwa style. Uh, so how I picked it up was I was watching one of Noriyaro's videos, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Noriyaro is. Whoever doesn't know, it's actually I think he's an Australian guy, if I'm not mistaken. His accent sounds Australian. Yeah, I think he's an Australian guy living in Japan. Um, and he has this very, very nice, very entertaining YouTube channel called Noriyaro. And in that episode, that particular episode that I watched, I think he had a Mark II, which he was driving, and he bought, and he was trying to do it up for drifting, and it was just looking like a piece of junk, to be honest. And he took it to uh, quite a well-known mechanic and bodywork specialist, which is, I think, Mechadol. I can't remember. Um, and she was saying, like, this guy's car is just a piece of junk. Nah, it's a era of a Rewa. It's a Rewa style. So the Rewa style is basically pristine, clean, very very nice looking bodies. No street style bumper missing, uh, different colored panels, that kind of thing. Very classic, very well done, very beautiful looking bodies, be it with the livery, without livery, but the body is pristine and it's straight, and it looking like you can drift it and you can take it out on the street for any time. So that's the Rewa style. Um, with that, or should I say, to the next, I wanted to chat a little bit more about the different styles, but I must include a surprise, which I'm trying out, and hopefully this works out for future podcasts. Um, I'm actually trying to get a guest on, so whilst we are chatting on the podcast, and this is a trial, so please excuse me if it doesn't work too well. So our first guest is comes all the way from the USA. He's been in Europe for a little while. He's in the USA now. He's a very very good friend of mine. A lot of people love him. Some people hate him. He's here to talk about a very simple component of RC cars, and which a lot of us tend to actually get right or don't actually know the correct way how to do this, and that is my friend Rob Nick. So if you'll just bear with me for a second, I'm going to try and get him on. Uh, so Rob, there we go. Okay, let's see if he will join in. Rob, dude, where are you? I'm trying to add you in, but it's saying no answer from the guest. So let's try one more time. Shoot. Okay. Rob, when you are back, please send another invite, and then we can get going. Um, yeah. So until Rob comes back, we'll continue with the rest of what I was talking about. If there's somebody else that would like to join, this first joining in, it's just a trial. So don't worry if you don't have anything prepared. But if you still want to join in, just send an invite, send a request to join, and then we'll take it from there. So we were talking about, we ended off with the Rewa style. So yeah, I think a lot of us have actually been doing that for quite a while. Beautiful solid colors, or depth of colors, candy metallic colors on our bodies, and just doing it really really well, street style, single color. Yeah, that's pretty much Rewa style. Um, and then, there's so many other different styles. You could go with the Itasha style. So the Itasha style is like very heavy, uh, uh, anime inspired livery, which I kind of like. But yeah, that's your Itasha style. So straight out of the Japan, that whole style there. And then Bosozoku, of course, I think many of you know, inspired by, like, those very extravagant, hectic side skirts, and front and rear lips, and wild looking exhausts, that kind of thing. So that's Bosozoku. And then there's something that I haven't seen much people try, which I actually a few weeks back I asked on the worldwide RC drift group. I asked about how to do a manga style paint job on an RC car. I wanted to do something different and try something out. and the style kind of it appeals to me, but I can see it being something that um, you'll get tired of very quickly. So, but however, it is quite a look. It is quite attractive. So you would be keen on seeing that. So the manga style is exactly that. It's drawn basically for those who are not too familiar what manga is. It's basically like an anime style drawn paint job. So it looks like the car is in motion while it's staying still because it has those key sort of features on the paintwork, like how you see in cartoons, those lines that the artists draw on the car to make it seem as though the car is moving at speed. Basically, that's what it is. So it's an anime style, a manga style. So and that post got a huge amount of interest and a lot of comments, and a lot of people actually came to the party to help. So I was quite chuffed about that. I just want to try Rob again. I don't know why. Yeah, man, it's not answering. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, Um, what kind of styles of bodies do you guys like? Not necessarily, and I'm not talking about like brands or uh, or or makes in particular, but I'm talking about paint job styles. What do you guys prefer? Do you guys? Let's hear from you guys. You prefer street style? You prefer something complex, something um, with a lot of how can I put it? Uh, with like a full paint job, no stickers, that kind of thing. Something with a complex livery, or perhaps you are like me, who can do a really nice job in a solid color, and then need stickers, and then you apply the stickers to the body. So let's hear from you guys what you guys got to say, and you know what kind of styles do you guys like? Uh, and then we'll take it from there. Any comments? For those of you who have just joined, thank you so much for joining in. This is your boy Bob Rock, and this is the B Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. If you could all do me a favor and please share this live podcast so that we get more people watching and more people interested in RC drifting, which is such an amazing hobby that we all love. Uh, so I don't know, man. Let's see. No comments? Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Um, there we go. Steven says a clean, well done streetcar. I must admit, there's nothing quite like a clean, well painted streetcar. Solid color, but done really well. It's just on a class of its own. However, one thing, and I think this is a piece of advice for a lot of the new guys who's coming into the hobby that does bodies. Maybe you've been in the game for a little while, but it's something that you don't do. When it comes to these RC bodies, it's everything is in the details. All the little details is what makes the body fantastic. What's the name? How's it, Yasin? Thank you so much for joining in, brother. Good to see you in the comments here. So, as I was saying, when it comes to the RC bodies, it's all in the details, all those little details that make up the car, and that gives it a fine look. There we go. My man Rob is back. Let's see if you will join in. There we go. Now we are getting some way. Our first guest on this trial run is my buddy Rob Nick, who who's gonna be chatting to us about dampers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's the pickle himself.
Let me get into my layer.
Yeah. Okay. Diego says 24K technology and addiction bodies are the most detailed. Yes, agreed. Style is very difficult. I think old Japan
Yo.
body. Sophia S13 is perfect for classic library. New Super body, I think, is perfect for new library. Most simple 3 to 4 colors. Wow, Diego, you know what? You are on another level when it comes to bodies, bro. Really. But yeah, thank you for that. It's nice to have somebody like you in the comments who does these fantastic bodies. So back to my man Rob. How you doing, buddy?
Tired, but I'm good. How are you?
You look a bit beat up. It's been a long day.
It's a holiday, so the kids.
Yeah, but I just want to thank you for joining in on the B-Rock RC show, our very first guest that we have. For all the guys that have been watching the podcast for quite a while, I think you all will know that I wasn't able to have guests on previously. But now I managed to get around it, and myself and Rob have been chatting, and we said, you know what, let's give it a go, and let's see how it works out. So trial run is actually working out a lot better than I expected.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what have you got for us, brother?
Well, I mean, we've all been driving for quite some time, and I love this hobby. It's so interesting how we keep learning shit every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for so much time, in the beginning, I had a bunch of friends just, I was just driving, drive. And I think it was my friend Tor back in Seattle. We made a trip out east, 3 hour drive or so, and we rebuilt my dampers for the first time for Sprint 2 life. Maybe 3 years I'm driving, didn't even know you could open them. I just thought, you
Oh,
drive.
really?
It was
Oh,
bad.
nice,
Oh, I was
nice,
that guy. Don't worry. Savox, Spectrum, I had it all.
nice.
But yeah, and even now, we have good dampers, and we talk about how important geometry and dampers are.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you and I were blessed to be in this little Muadi family with this brilliant mastermind by the name of Daniel. We call him Papi-san. And
100%. Yeah,
it's just funny, like we all know how important ride height is, and preload on the shaft is somewhat new to me, and the
yeah,
benefits are amazing. But then just the simple like modus operandi, like normally I'm just building dampers, putting them on the car, looking for a ride height, putting springs on, figuring out some things, and running with
yeah.
it. But I've been shown a new discipline, I guess I would say, from Daniel of how to do this, and it's just changed my game. And I can't believe it took this long to do this. And I'm sure that all the more experienced tuners have this will just be like, well, yeah, doesn't everyone do that? But I guarantee you, I think
Yeah, I'm
with
probably
like
gonna
the
learn a
new
lot myself
FSR,
now.
like yeah, like with the newer guys that started when the YD2 was already out, like
Yeah.
I just feel like this is something that's missed. But I'll just give it a simple breakdown because it's been a bit mind blowing to me. But first thing I do is just empty dippers. I mean, these already
Yeah.
have oil, but we'll just pretend they're empty. No springs, no nothings, and kind of eyeball what length of ball caps we need. Maybe some the top of the dipper. But long story short, I just get a
Yeah.
little. I just made some wooden blocks, but I left them at the track. So ride height gauge.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see how we can make this work. Uh, I got an idea. Here, that's high tech duct tape. Watch this.
Look at that. Problem solved.
So this chassis right here, this is just a YD4 with a ball diff and YD2 slide rack. But we
Okay.
kind of agreed that 5 millimeters in the rear was nice, so I just mark it, hit up 5 mils. In the front, I liked 7, so we'll just pretend my front's at a 7 right now. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
again, no oil, haven't built the shit at all, and I'll just put the dampers on. Again, no shocks. And what I'm looking for is, oops, hi, ET fingers. Give me a second. This is why I can't do 124. Look at this thumb. I mean, it's like a light bulb. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, big thumb family.
But basically, like once I'm set on, like what all I'm doing now is looking at how much my body roll is happening, making sure my shafts aren't bottoming out. If they're hitting the ball caps, then let's extend them a little bit. Let's use a different size ball cap. And what I'm looking for
Okay,
are two things right here. One, that I'm at my right height of choice when I want to be in a neutral position, right? And two,
okay,
which is not perfect on this one, but this is a bit of a different build, but just to get a base platform, I want my axle here. Some call it a dog bone, I don't know. I want that
yeah,
completely, I want this, I want the axle to be completely parallel with the surface.
okay. When it's at rest.
When I'm at my 5 mil or wherever you want to be, I like 5 mils in the rear for this.
Right, right, right. Okay,
Um, I change roll center a little bit with this as per my track and tire and chassis I'm chasing. So that's why it's a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit off right now. But in a perfect world, we'd all like to have our axles perfectly even. And then with that, we don't want to bottom out. We want to make sure we got enough lift. And also,
okay,
the next step right here is I will measure. If I'm at 5 mils here, I'll take the measurement from the top thread and the exposed shaft, and then I'll remove
yeah,
it, and we'll see if I extend it, how much difference was made. And then I take this
okay,
number, and now I know
yeah.
how much preload I want to enter into my rear damper or front damper on the shaft. And
Oh, okay,
maybe,
so that's how it works.
maybe not. That is for me, this is like eating pho. Everyone has their own ritual, There's no
Yeah,
correct way to eat pho. But
o-
that's how I'm gauging my preload off of my shaft after I've
okay,
seen exactly my
yeah,
position, my ball cap length to maximize body roll for this
yeah.
tune. And I'm driving on mildly polished concrete on top line tires. So
So, so I have a quick question as well for the guys that's joining us that don't know. Why do we want our axles parallel to the surface?
I find it like, if you're at a neutral position and your axle is parallel, anytime you're in a squat, you're leaning in a squat and then you lift a little bit. Where the neutral position is, it's either going to pull or push up to this. And the way that Daniel
Okay.
explained it was far more sophisticated. But
Take a
all I
shot, take
can
a shot.
explain is my personal experience with it. Like when I'm sitting like this or like this, it just either feels like it's floating like a monster trucking. Um, for me, it's when I come off of gas, it's just stable as all hell, and it's already in a perfect position to again squat or lift. It's that neutral position is
Okay,
nice,
okay, I see. Yeah,
and then with
yeah, I
with
get you.
having nice what you call it, like preload on the shaft,
Yeah.
we can bounce around a little bit and still have
So,
nice dampening.
yeah, so I'm curious. You remove the springs from your dampers at the rear before checking your,
Before I'm even putting oil into my builds,
yeah, and the reason for that is
because it's just I'm looking for the length on my ball cap. I'm looking
okay,
damper position because what's more important to me is once I put the damper on,
yeah.
no oil, no spring, five
So
millimeter.
it'll give you a
To me,
true gauge,
before
basically.
oil, before spring, it's showing
Yeah.
me the travel. So maybe I need to have it lift up a little bit. Maybe I need to change positions and just
Ah,
looking
okay.
for that nice middle ground so I can sway, I can
Ah,
squat.
jeepers, this is blowing my mind, dude. I never ever do this. I've never done it this way before.
Get a
So
month
I'm
now. I'm
definitely
doing it.
gonna start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start doing this. I can see how it's gonna help me. Me personally, I can already see how it's gonna help.
I mean, in a nutshell, it's just how to properly, we all know how to properly build dampers, but
Yeah.
or not. We could build dampers and, put it on a keychain. Like, this damper is really good. But if we
Yeah,
put it on a chassis and it's not tuned to that specific chassis weight and everything else that goes into it, have a
yeah,
cook, good job, but you haven't completed your mission.
yeah,
Um,
100%, 100%.
and, once I've started doing this, and it all started when I picked up Big Frank, which is in a cleaning process right now from Daniel. We call it
Okay.
NC0, but
Yeah.
his like damper parameters that he wrote down for this, I was like,
Yeah,
huh, that's very, very interesting. And without putting them on the chassis first, just built them, slapped them on, and it was
yeah.
like, it's sitting so perfect. And I mean, it drove naturally, like an angry gentleman. But
No,
uh,
that's fantastic, man.
but yeah,
Um,
so in a nutshell, it's no oil, no spring. Slap it on. Make sure you've got your roll, you've got your squat, you've got your lift, and you're not bottoming out anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, and then from there, you can remove this, like I said, and gauge how much preload you want to use. And I'm sure there's a bunch of
Right, right,
teachers
right.
out there, like a Michael Keane or something, that'll pop in and explain to me where I fucked up or went wrong. But hey, it's a start.
Yeah. No, but thanks
It's
for
really
that,
good.
man.
Yeah.
It's a real eye opener for me especially, and I'm sure for other guys here as well who maybe, like you said, yeah, have been doing this for so long, but haven't really considered
Some people don't
the
even fall
effects
for
of it.
the falls because it's just proper, damper building.
Yeah, and it's exactly like what you said. I mean, we all can build dampers. I think we've been in the game long enough to learn how to build it properly now.
Mm.
But to fine tune it the way you are doing it now, I think it's something that quite a few people actually don't do. So I'm definitely guilty of that. In fact, it makes me so mad that I want to start doing it right now on the podcast. I want to grab my chassis, start doing this thing. But yeah, thanks a lot for that, Rob. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate you being my first guest, the
Yeah, like
very
anytime.
first
I
guest.
can do that.
And so for everybody watching, I have to give Rob all the credit here because he's the one that actually pushed me to having a guest on, and he said,
It can be
just
kind of feeble, but he just needs just a
to
push
hell
it.
with everything.
And,
Yeah, he said, to hell with everything. Just do it. Just forget about it and just do
uh,
it. Don't
what
even think
people
about
think
it.
isn't that what matters. So
Yeah.
people, we like when your show pops on. It's always a good time. The vibe's right, and that's why we're here. It's
No,
simple.
I appreciate that, man. For a while, and I mean, I chat with you often, and for a while I've been low on energy,
Yeah,
and
everybody moves, man. We all get it.
uh,
This world's fucked up.
and you've been my pick me up of sorts. So I actually feel quite amped now these days. So thank you for being in my corner there and
Yeah, maybe
lifting me up.
to simplify some things, I can just make some pictures and put those letters with word combinations together to just cover this a little bit, with
Yeah,
more deeper
if you
explanations
could.
as to why, like you asked a few things, and I'll have some of the smarter brained uh, write that up for us.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
get
you know
people
what?
just from experience, like a couple
Yeah,
little parameters that I've been given, following these parameters, driving my car before,
yes, yes,
driving my
yes.
car after, light
Yeah,
day. It's
like
it's
night
so
and day.
different. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
So
Nah, dude, you don't even need to make it technical. I find these days that the moment we start making things about technical, you start losing your audience. So
yeah,
people like stop reading, and there'll only be like out of five, there'll only be perhaps two that'll read it. We want to get 5 out of 5
exactly.
reading
We'll
this
make
whole thing.
little pamphlets,
So we
and
put
they
it
can be
in, yeah,
scratch and sniff pamphlets
keywords.
as well.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Oil
Exactly that.
smell, silicone oil smell. And for those of
Yeah.
you out there who save their money and use Johnson and Johnson's baby oil, we'll put a little lavender scent in there for you. That
Yeah, man.
wrong. It is super good. That's the for me my RER oil of choice. Look good.
Okay. So the
Normal, bro.
secrets are coming out now.
Yeah, mhm. No, that comes out of
So
Seattle always up there. It's pretty epic. Just Johnson. And that's right. You buy it once and you got this much. You're good for life.
yeah,
And all your
yeah,
whole
for,
crew.
literally, yeah. So
That's it.
I see we have quite a few new viewers in. So for
Yeah,
all
I'm
the
gonna
new
let you get
viewers
back
that
to it.
have just joined in,
I'm gonna go juggle my children and let you get back to it.
okay.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
make a
oh
little
no,
write up for
awesome,
you
man.
to pop up and have
Yeah,
a good night, I guess I should say to you, hey?
yeah. It is night here. Nah, thanks so
Okay.
much for joining in,
Yeah, my
Rob,
dude.
and for all the valuable info. Appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure there'll be some nerds making sure I said it the right way. But hey, that's how it
Yeah,
is. So anyway, much love, my
sweet,
dude.
man.
Peace, everybody.
Much love,
Oh,
man. Cheers,
you gotta
man.
kick me out. I don't even know how to do it, so I'll let you do
Oh
that.
shit. Okay, okay. Peace. Cheers. Shit, dude. I don't. Okay, here we go. Uh, okay, got it back. So. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Thank you so much for joining in. So for all the new guys that have just joined in, if you know me already, I'm your boy Bob Rock, and this is the Bob. I'll say the Bob Rock Show. Jeez. Let me take a breather, gather myself. Right. Welcome to the B Rock RC Show. If you've just joined us, I'm your host, Bob Rock, and welcome to the world of RC drifting. If you've just joined us, you just missed a very great guest and a very, very good friend of mine, Rob Nick, who came on to chat a little bit about uh, dampers. And he gave some really, really valuable information on how to actually begin tuning up your dampers. Something which I must admit I've never ever done, and never even considered doing before. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that from now on. He is going to provide a little written what you may call it about his whole process, which as soon as I get, I will share with everybody because it's definitely valuable info, and I know you guys are gonna use it. So I'm very thankful to him for joining in. And now that it worked out so well, you can definitely expect to see more guests on here. Um, I'm already so amped and I wonder who I can get on here next week. If you guys have somebody you would like to see on the show, please leave a comment and say and just nominate who you would like to see on the show. Anybody, and I mean anybody throughout the world. I think you guys know me already and know that uh, I know people. It just so happens I know people across the globe. It's not, I'm not gloating, I'm just saying. So if there's somebody that you want to see on the show, just, leave a comment, send me a message and say, hey, you know what, it will be a good idea to see so and so from wherever. So how about getting on? And I hope that it's added a really nice dynamic to the show. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed that part about it. Rob says, I speak to Asif about being a guest. He owes us all some FaceTime. Absolutely 100%. If you are in the world of RC drifting and you don't know Mr. Goldenheart, Asif, all the way from Kuwait, if you don't know him, then have you really been drifting? Um, he is everybody's friend. So hopefully Rob can get him on, and then yeah, we'll have him on the show and just have a catch-up session with him, see what he's up to, how's he doing, because that's a question on everybody's mind. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Other than that, if there's anybody else you want to see, let's yeah, send your suggestions through. Ryan, what's happening, my man? Mr. Baxter himself. I'm doing good, bro. How are you doing? Thanks so much for joining in. Really appreciate the support, man. That's all I'm asking for. Join in, learn a little bit, ask a question. Ryan, if there's anything you want to know, any questions you want to ask, please go for it. Shout out to all the other guys that's came on, that's said how hi or how's it. I'm sorry, I didn't greet you a little earlier, but I am greeting you now. I acknowledge you, bros. Um, so the next thing I wanted to sort of talk about was, other than that, there was there was a small trend that was starting, and I think it's from the guys with Japan. There's been um, a few videos which I've shared and no, shared on my profile. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't avoid that. So, like I was saying, there's been a few videos I've shared on my profile with some hectic body roll from drivers out in Japan and Korea. I think one of them was a drifter by the name of J Red Kim. He's quite an accomplished driver. Ah, thank you. Thanks, guys. I think I'm getting a little bit sick because my throat is a bit itchy, but that's a story for another day. So yeah, body roll movement. Is it the next trend? I don't know. It's definitely something I wanna try. Um, I think that you have to try and find the right balance with the body roll so that it gives it a little more realistic look, but it doesn't look over the top. And I'm sure we've seen some of those videos where it like looks like over the top. I'm still trying to find out the dynamics of how it works. But when you actually get down to the nuts and bolts of it, the nitty-gritty of it, you got to ask yourself, is it really something that you want to do, that you want to pursue? Because you really need to have the technical know-how in order to create the body roll and know how to tune it so that with the body roll you also achieving the performance levels that you want. Okay, so let's see. Rob says we also want to speak with Ben Clinton about his addiction with color blue. I will message him and I will ask him directly about it. And I'll ask him if he wants to come on the show for like 5 minutes and talk about that. Rob, let's see. Body roll equals fun. I agree. It looks super fun, and that's why I want to try it. Yet you can make the tune perform. That's the fun part. I agree. And I think that's part of the reason why I want to do it. But um, perhaps I'm being a little bit overzealous and being a little bit of an overachiever in that I wanna do so many things, but I'm not getting the down to the basics. I'm not getting the basics right. So perhaps the best thing for me to do right now is to get back to the basics, get myself working on my cars again more often, tuning it properly, learning how to tune again properly, getting the car to perform exactly how I want it, and then going on to something like uh, body roll, let's see, and roll center. Rob says roll center stuffs, damper things, and all the other whatnots. Yes, exactly. Hence why I think perhaps I'm shooting too high in that I want to do all of those things, but I'm not even getting the basics right. And that's something for the newer guys and the newbies coming into the hobby need to understand is that you're coming into the hobby because you have been influenced by a friend, or perhaps you've seen a video of RC drifting somewhere, and you've seen how the guys drive it so well, and they're able to control the cars so elegantly and so artfully, and now you want to go in there and straight away you want to drift like them, or you think you can drift like them. You think that you can just charge your battery, put the battery in, switch the radio on, and this thing will automatically be drifting. But it's never the case. It's never that simple. It's never that straightforward. And uh, what Rob has done here in being his guest and explaining about dampers is actually just indirectly reminding me that I should focus on the basics first before getting deep into other things. So that's what I'm going to do. Ryan says, I'm working on my RC bodies until I get my chassis sorted. Hey, awesome, man. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. I have a couple really old bodies which you can have actually, and you can use it as a basher if you want. I've got an old 86 you can have, so we can you can take it from there. And yeah, so that's where I think the newbies, you guys need to pay attention to that. In that, give yourself time to learn. Give yourself time to learn the basics. The basics is going to inform you for the rest of your drifting. No matter what you do, it's going to inform all of that. Your basics, how to drift, your basics, how to tune. From that base, you can build up of everything. But if you don't have that basic knowledge, you're wasting your time. You're actually going to make things longer and harder for you to get right. Rob says probably Ben fact a YD2E can win comps. Parts don't make it drive better if your tune is off, even by a millimeter. 100%. It's no use you buying top end, top shelf chassis, top end cars, having the best of the best, but you don't know how to work the best of the best. You don't know how to make the best equipment perform at its peak, and it's all because when you get a chassis, and this is what annoys me with the new guys. You'll see the post, it comes up. I just I'm new to this. I just got my YD2, or I just got my RMX. What upgrades can I get for this car? Dude, you haven't even pulled the chassis out of the box, put it onto a track yet, but you're already asking about what upgrades you want to do. That's not how it works. Put the car on the track and drive it first. See what it's all about. Then ask yourself, okay, what upgrades do I get? And even more specifically, what upgrades do I need? Don't get the upgrades you want, get the upgrades that you need. Let's see, Rob says, don't know why, but my keyboard likes pen right now. I see that. Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. Will this body fit my chassis? Yeah, that's a bit of a tiring one. Guys, can we make it a point to learn the wheelbase of our chassis? The wheelbase, the length, the width, what works, what doesn't work. Can we do that? Basics, all down to basics. If we can get that right, I promise you, your whole journey in RC drifting would be a lot easier, a whole lot more easier. Uh, so the other thing I wanted to ask Rob while he was on, but he had to go. I wanted to ask him about what does he think the new trends in RC drifting is. So a few weeks back, actually, when I started making my notes for today's show, and this was just after or um, during the time when I was asking about manga style. Yeah, so I was wondering, the way that post blew up, I was actually wondering whether I've just started a new trend, because we had a whole bunch of people starting to ask about the manga style, and yes, we can do it, and this is how you go about it, and do this and do that. So I thought I was starting a trend. So much for that. But the problem is I didn't follow it up. That's what. Let's see. I missed the blogs. I don't pay attention too much, but I like what Rhino Max is producing. All others seem boring, like they don't listen to us. I'll drop you a message tomorrow. Yeah, sure, man. You know what? Anytime you can drop me a message later as well. I sleep quite late, so it's cool. Yeah, so on to the last segment of today's episode is where I want to talk about the new what's new in the world of RC drifting. So, and I'm quite excited about this. As you all know, Reve has been teasing us with their pixelated Minecraft pictures for a while now. And at the time, again, that I was supposed to do this episode, they hadn't released pics, but now they have. So the Reve D RDX is about to be dropped sometime later this month or in October. It looks very interesting, and it finally, I suppose, it answers the question that many people have been asking: is when is Reve going to drop their own chassis? Because they've done conversion kits for the YD2, for the GRK, and what else? Was it just two that they did conversion kits for? I mean, then they had their sort of almost complete chassis, which was the MC1, but which still used YD2 gear. But now they've released their own chassis. So it's all carbon fiber. The regular, actually, the servo position is actually pushed back, if I'm not mistaken. It's pushed back towards the rear motor. It's not RR though. However, I've made some notes here. However, it can, I think it does have a variable motor position. So that's going to be interesting. ESC position is right at the back behind the shock tower. And other than that, I don't think it's anything particularly special in its layout and its design, something that we didn't see already. I'm so surprised they didn't copy Yogi as they did Frankie. Yeah, man. So for those guys that don't know what Rob is talking about, Yogi and Frankie, our main man, Daniel Christoph, is one of the most brilliant guys I've ever come across in RC drifting. I mean, his technical knowledge is beyond anything I had ever imagined, and I can't understand why manufacturers haven't scooped him up as yet, because his R&D is like on another level, and he's been developing his own chassis to suit his own style, how he wants to see it, and these things are absolute beasts. So we all in the commodity family, we all waiting for when Daniel is going to release his own commodity drift chassis. So we all signed up already, waiting for that. But yeah, in the meantime, well, we got our main manufacturers doing their thing there. So that's the Reve RDX. The one thing they do have though is it's a fixed damper position. So uh, how you can adjust your damper position would probably be with spacers and that sort of thing. He already did. It's called MC1. Got a bounce like shot for the awesome. See, hope you have a great evening, awesome week. Thanks so much, Ryan, for joining in, man. It's been yeah, very, very heartwarming to see you in the comments here. I really appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much, and you have an awesome week as well. I'll chat to you soon, bro. Um, then we move on to the Yoko MD01. So finally, we have Yokomo moving away from the YD2 series and calling it the MD. I can't say that it's incredibly creative because MD, and they call it a Master of Drift or the Master Drift. Very similar to the Reve RDX in that fixed damper positions. Again, it does appear to have a different layout than the usual YD2. Comes completely not carbon fiber, it's in graphite. So that's interesting. And So the revised upper and lower arms, revised quick release gearbox, variable motor positions, ESC right on the back behind the shock tower. Uh, the front, interestingly enough, it's also fixed damper positions, and it's not actually a shock tower in a traditional sense anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how people overcome the damper positions. For me, I'm a little bit old school. I prefer the regular damper shock towers where you have those millions of holes for you to really fine tune your damper position. I prefer that. Others may prefer what's going on now. So we'll see. We'll see what people say, what people think. And then we come to Rhino Max, who has been doing some incredible work and releasing some magnificent products recently. We all know them for producing those Rhino Max chassis, the version 1 and the version 2, which are incredibly performing chassis, doing really well, very high quality. I've never had a single complaint about those chassis at all. So we already know that they've established themselves as a very good quality RC manufacturer. So now, and they've released a very popular diff, which is the CLSD for the YD2, the GRK, and most recently the Overdose Gum, and those have been doing really well. So we know that they produce quality. They are finally coming into the game now with their own chassis. However, it's not a complete chassis. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, sorry, I've been helping my daughter with her project, her school project. It doesn't come in a complete chassis, although it does provide a huge amount of adaptability and adjustability and variation, which is very cool. You gotta get the rest of the stuff, man. So you gotta get your gears, your gearbox, your diffs, um, your front arms, upper, lower. It does have shock towers already. You gotta. It does come with the new integrated front bulkhead and direct drive system. So that's the steering system. So that's going to be very cool to watch. And last thing about that is that it has it's adjustable. It has an adjustable wheelbase from 220 to 280. So if for the guys that like running like a 275 body, there's your shot. You can go check it out. So some very nice stuff coming out from all the manufacturers. It's going to be a very interesting few months coming up. I'm sure people are gonna get in the new chassis and they're gonna want to drive it in the new year. But hey, you never know. Hey, what's happening, Bear? Thank you for joining in, my bro. Really appreciate it. You caught the tail end of the show, which is fine. We don't mind. Even if you come in for a few minutes, it's all good. Really appreciate seeing you here, man. And then lastly, before I close up the the podcast, the episode for today, very recently, and by recently I mean like on Friday, I opened up a WhatsApp group called the RC Show Off Arena, which is an open WhatsApp group for all RC enthusiasts, not only drifters, but we're talking off-roaders, we're talking crawlers, racers, maybe even some people with drones, or some guys who fly planes. It's open for everybody. It's a WhatsApp group to just show off your. Does somebody want to join? Just show off your thing, man. Your RC. Um, and it's been incredibly popular since it started. I had quite a few people wanting to join. So whoever wants to join, please just send me a message or send me a comment, and I'll DM me your number, and I'll add you to the group. We have people from all over the world actually joining that WhatsApp group. So we got people from France, like Nicholas. We got Rob Nick on. There's another Rob there, I think, and we've got some people from Norway and not the UK just yet, but yeah, the US. We've got another a drifter from Brazil. So it's a very, very nice group for you for guys to join. Oh, Adil, what's happening? Clutch, nice to see you here, my man. Welcome to the B-Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. I know you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but thank you for joining in. These are my clan mates from my PUBG clan mates. Well, to be fair, they're not just clan mates. They're more like my brothers. These are my family. So thank you for joining in, boys. Really, really appreciate it. So yeah, back to that WhatsApp group. If you guys want to join, please send me a message with your number, and I'll add you into the group. The one thing that needs to be mentioned about the group is that together with SRC, we have started a virtual RC and not drift, a virtual RC build-off. It's a monthly competition where you can enter your new builds or enter your build for the month into the competition where you can win a prize from sponsored by SRC as well as the B-Rock RC show. So it's it's a prize and a cash prize as well. The entry is completely free, and winners will be chosen at the end of the month. So currently for this month, the competition is open. We already have a few entries. I can't remember the number exactly, but we've got some pretty stiff competition there already. If you want to know more, just let me know, and I'll add you into the group, and then you can join in and enter the competition. Or if you don't want to enter, you can just join in. Maybe you don't even have an RC car, but you are interested in RC and you want to know more, or you want to see what guys are doing. You can join in by, you're most welcome. Hey, all my PUBG boys, all my young Thundercats are coming in. Thank you, boys, for joining in. Much love, much appreciated. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another post again, reminding people about that competition and that WhatsApp group. So you're most welcome to join. It would be awesome if you join. We're trying to get more people interested in RC and RC drifting as well. So it's going to be really cool if you guys can join in the WhatsApp group and. Uh, Andre, what's happening, man? What competition? Okay, it's a virtual RC build-off that I'm hosting every month in our WhatsApp group. I have a separate WhatsApp group for RC. It's called the RC Show Off Arena, where you can show off your RC cars, your videos, anything RC goes in there. It's a clean, respectable group, boys. Young Thundercats, just so you know. So, hey, what's up, Gareth? Hey, good to see you again, man. It's been a while. You caught the end of the show, but no, it's cool, man. Not to worry about, not to worry. Life happens, and I'm just glad you made it. So, like I was just telling the people that I've started a WhatsApp group. It's called the RC Show Off Arena, and um, we have a monthly build-off competition there where it's sponsored by SRC as well as the B-Rock RC show. So if you want to join in, just send me a number. We have people from the US, Brazil, Europe, other parts of Europe, and France, and all over South Africa. So yeah, it's cool if you want to join. So you're welcome to join. I can't do Car drifting. I can do PUBG drifting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Get it. Just DM me your number and I'll add you in. Let's say Andre. I'm sorry if I'm from the wrong division, but can I bring my Lambo? Yeah, of course. You can bring your Lambo, bruh. We don't discriminate. Yeah. See, the whole idea behind it is there's different elements to it. One is to get people interested again in RC, not necessarily drifting, but in RC. A lot of people are sitting with these RC cars and they're just letting it collect dust and they're not doing anything, and they have some sort of interest towards it, but life has taken over and they kind of forgot it a little bit. So the idea here is to get them back in and get them interested in again and get them to see why they were so interested in RC in the first place. And in turn, that will help grow the hobby. And in turn, that will uh, that will hopefully inspire a new generation of RC enthusiasts to come in, where the older guys like myself and many, many, many others can pass on that knowledge, pass on that baton, pass on the torch to the next generation that will carry through RC for till whenever. So that's the idea. And by the time and when they do that, when we are growing the hobby, when we are getting new people coming in, it means that there's going to be investment in the RC industry. So that means that the guy who has a small shop, a small hobby shop close to where you are living, it means that there's going to be more people supporting him, supporting his small store, which means that he's surviving. The RC community is growing, which means he's going to in turn support the local RC guys, and it's going to grow from there. So it's a knock-on effect. It's Don't think of it in such a small way. Look at the bigger picture when it comes to the hobby. And in fact, the same ideology or the same concept can be applied to anything. You start off small, but the knock-on effect is massive. Garrett says, I've got an old school chassis that people might remember. DPR turn nervous. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's an OG. That's an OG chassis, dude. Very, very nice. So yeah, just another reminder about that WhatsApp group. If you want to join, please join in. So, oh yeah, and I was still on that and I got sidetracked. So like I was saying, that's the main idea behind the WhatsApp group. The other thing is SRC is a fantastic and amazing, truly South African produced, manufactured company that produces some of the most amazing RC accessories you can get. And it's not only just for the drift cars, it's for the on-road cars, it's for the crawlers. They do a whole bunch of different accessories for all these cars that take your regular looking body to the next level and makes it look even more realistic. SRC is worth having a look at and worth, I won't say investing in, but um, buying their products because, yeah, I know, I'm going to trim it. So, like I was saying, they worth looking at because of its quality and its availability and its pricing. And just so you guys know, SRC is available all over the country and all over the world. So we're talking from Japan right through to the USA. That whole, it's absolutely amazing. And he is a very, very good friend of mine, someone who I also consider a brother, who has done so much for me that I don't think I'll be able to ever repay him. So, Vivian, a huge shout out to you for all that you do for the RC drifting community, not only locally, but globally. And what you've produced and what you've given everybody, I think people don't fully understand and fully appreciate what you do. And I hope that these words will help put that into perspective and put people in the know. And with that being said, though, don't just buy the product because I'm telling you to and because I'm advocating for SRC. And also, SRC, there's no affiliation between the Birok RC show and SRC. I'm not getting any sort of kickback or anything from SRC. This is purely from myself alone and got nothing to do with SRC. And now I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, he's done a huge amount for me. I don't think I can repay him at all. Uh, yeah, so don't take it from me. Don't buy it because I'm telling you to, and because I'm I'm saying what great quality products it is. Buy the products because of the product itself. Don't just take my word for it. Go and look at it, go and see it, go and try it out, and you'll see for yourself why SRC are the peoples in the business. So with that, I like to cut it off here because I want to go hit a few PUBG games. And also I need a bit of a break. Uh, when you're going, when you go in us, when you go in us, oh, when are you going to join us? Yes. Omar, my bro, believe me, I'm trying my best to get all the gear together and join us. Believe me, I really, really want to join. I really want to enter the sim drifting scene. I really do. I'm just I just can't afford it right now, to be honest. My computer is gone super slow. It needs to be upgraded. It's somewhat okay-ish, but it needs to be upgraded. And then the wheel that I had, oh, that wheel, pedals, everything, it just got completely destroyed when my house got flooded. So yeah, it's going to take me a bit of time, but I will get there. Yes, very much so. I was watching the drifting. I was watching your stream, and yeah, really, really enjoyed it, and it's got me amped to join in. It really does. So thank you once again to everybody for joining in the B-Rock RC show. Really appreciate all of your warmth, all of your love, all of your support. You guys are awesome. With that being said, we had a really good trial run of having a guest live on the B-Rock RC show. So if you have anybody who you would like to see on the B-Rock RC show, please go ahead, drop a comment, drop me a message, and suggest someone you would like to see on the show, and I'll bring them on, and we'll make it work, and we'll have a really good podcast going forward. Um, and yeah, and that's it. Nothing more to say. So you guys take care, keep well, stay safe, keep drifting, keep tag me in your projects, tag me in your events. Let me know what's going on in your end of the world. And if you don't know what's going on around the world, I will bring it to you so you don't miss out. So thank you once again to everybody for joining in. You guys are awesome. I'll post up the info as soon as I get it, so you guys can also share in all of the comments. Also, you will be able to watch this episode tomorrow on my YouTube channel. I will post it up there, and I'll post the link on this page, the B-Rock RC Show page, so you guys can join in there. So until then, next week, same time, same place, with a whole bunch of new stuff to talk about. I will see you guys. This is your boy Bob Rock signing off on the B-Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Keep well, guys. Peace.